Hi, I'm Sandy Genovese and welcome to this episode of the Ellison Education video series. Today we're looking at a series of dies that feature several family members. And if you want to think of them, describing them as family, if you look at the table, I'm going to start with the one that would be the mom. And I've just colored out of one color here to show. Right next to her I have the die that would be the dad. We're going to look back at how to embellish them. If I go back up above, here is the girl. She could be like a teenager, and next to her would be her brother, which, he could be a teenager as well, or a little bit younger. And then next to that is a die that has both the toddler and the infant or the baby on it. You can see how cool the silhouettes are, even cut out of one color. But look how great they look when they're embellished. If I start here, just adding a little bit of clothing makes that infant really cool and cute. Next to that, the toddler, same thing, just by cutting multiple colors of paper, and then I added detail with a white pen. I did the same thing to add the clothing to the teenage girl, and I'm going to actually show you because you'll be surprised at how quick and easy it is. Then, once again, adding just some detail to his jeans and a little detail to what looks like a sweater on the teenage boy. On the mom, I've added some detail for her clothing, and on the dad. And how much detail the students want to add is totally up to them. The really artistic ones are probably going to love adding bow ties and pocket squares and anything, that would make sense to them. And the kids who aren't especially, they can go with simple. But let me show you the steps for doing the teenage girl. If you start with the background in whatever skin tone, skin color you want, and then I've just taken a pencil and I've used the pencil. If you look closely, you'll see I'm going to trim the clothing. So I'm going to cut at her neck, and I'm going to cut at her sleeves, and then I'm going to cut at her knees. So if I cut those portions off, and I drew it with pencil so you could see, but the die really makes it obvious where you're going to cut, so you really don't even need to draw the pencil lines. I'm separating from her clothing from her body. I'm going to cut out the little section here where her arm would be, and the same thing with this, so that it will show through. So you can see I've done that. I'm going to add adhesive to the back. You would put more adhesive than that, but this will be enough for me to show you how well this works. See how it's starting to look really cool. Because it's cut with the same die, it's going to align perfectly if you're good about placing it. And then if I wanted to go back and add a colored V-neck sweater, if you look, I've done the same thing with pencil. I've added the detail of the V-neck, so I'm going to cut just the purple portion out so that her sweater can sit on top. Do the same thing. And then I'm going to take and put adhesive on what would be, let me make sure I put adhesive on the right side. Okay, on the back side, this side. I'll use my tweezers so my hands aren't too much in the way. Place this right on top of the blue. And you can see how it ends up feeling like now she has a V-neck sweater. And then you can go back, if you look at this one, this is really all I did, except that I did go back with a white pen to add some, looks like stitch details on the edges. If you have kids that like playing with paper dolls, oh my gosh, they are going to love these. In Unit on Families, it's sure to improve with the use of these dies.